An Inspired Traveller's Guide, Literary Places by Sarah Baxter, illustrated by Amy Grimes and published by White Lion Publishing. This is an absolute delight of a book and it's beautifully produced. It has real quality all over it. It's been a particular privilege to review this book. It's May 2020, we're in the middle of lockdown, coronavirus is everywhere, and I have found it very difficult in my own life to really kind of visualise anything beyond the perimeters of my own life. Everything becomes very narrow, and this book, for many reasons, just kind of gave me an uplift that I really needed. It is beautifully illustrated by Amy Grimes. She has done paintings that are just full of colour, and colour on the eyeball is always something that makes you feel a lot better. And for each book that Sarah Baxter has chosen, and she's chosen 25, there are copious illustrations that really beautifully break up this book. Sarah Baxter has chosen 25 titles, and to my mind they are all really classic titles, and the one thing they all have in common is that they are really strong on setting, so where setting is almost a character in its own right. And she has travelled the world, and there are some beautiful examples of literary writing that is so strong on location. It's wonderfully colourful and it enables you to travel by book. The author offers a synopsis for each of her chosen titles and gives a little bit of a justification as to why she has included in this collection. She has, for example, Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain. Hans Castorp goes to visit a relative up in the mountains in a sanatorium because people who are ill with lung problems would often go up there to recuperate. He arrives and he decides to stay, and the sense of time that he experiences can only be a bit like what we are going through now, that your points of reference have kind of all gone. But she also says the Berghof, which is the setting Thomas Mann uses, possibly was based on the Schatzalp, which was a sanatorium built in 1900, converted into a hotel, but you can go and visit. And in fact the bar is where they probably had the X-ray room, because the X-ray screens are still in situ. Another novel that she chooses to include is The God of Small Things for Kerala by Arundhati Roy, a Booker Prize winner in 1997. And she talks in such glowing terms about, the sensory overload that you get from this book, with a very challenging and very good story. She also talks about Arundhati Roy, how she laments how much tourism has come, and I have to say I'm guilty of that, but the beautifully illustrated Ketevalam rice boats that tourists tour around the backwaters are an absolute delight. But just look at the detail of that wonderfully colourful picture. So from Kerala you can then take a journey perhaps to Naples with Elena Ferrante, and there's another beautiful illustration. The purpose of this book is, says the author, is to get people to pick up these novels that they may not have known about, but also to travel, and particularly in May 2020. This is a wonderful way to expand your horizons. So I have been absolutely delighted to read this book. Literary Places by Sarah Baxter, with beautiful illustrations by Amy Grimes, and I would suggest that you pick it up if you need a little bit of colour and a bit of travel in your life and some immersion into some really good literature.